So let me tell you guys who the captains are. So the team voted. They voted for 5 on defense. It was Max, Marcus Valdez. And on offense, it was Travis and Petrula and Zion. So those will be our 5 captains that the team voted on. So congratulations, Dan and AJ. You guys get to hear it first. Now we can have some questions.
We'll start things off with Dan.
Hey, Coach, I meant to ask you yesterday, but just about getting captains announced. For you, I know captains sometimes mean different things to different locker rooms. For you, when you have somebody that gets named a captain, what does that indicate to you about a player, both amongst the peers and amongst the coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you vote on captains and it comes from the team, that's the group of guys that the team picked to lead them. And I think you can look at leadership in a lot of different ways. Coming in, I think our staff had to work really hard and lead this team. I think through everything we've been through, we've had to do a good job leading this team. And I think I give our staff a lot of credit. They've done a good job of that. But through the COVID and everything else, the leadership had to come from the team, or else it wouldn't have worked. We wouldn't be where we are right now. And I think these 5 guys have probably been, some of the biggest ones to get it done. And there's more. There's plenty more. I mean, I could probably name 5 more guys. But real leadership comes from the team. And when you can establish that, it becomes real. And we're not quite there yet, but we're working to get there. But those 5 guys, everything they do is, they work hard. They do the right things on and off the field, and I'm glad we have them.
We'll go to AJ.
So in terms of leadership, how important is it to have strong student leaders during this, unprecedented time, and to have so many that, you could trust and that you can, have the back of your players and the staff?
It's the most important thing. We wouldn't be able to get through this. We wouldn't have had all the negative tests. We wouldn't have gotten through the difficult times without the leadership of the players. You could try to lead all you want as a coach, and you could demand and, you could motivate, and we do all that. But at the end of the day, they're not around us all the time. So the leadership has to come from them. And when there's that leadership, when it's the guy in the locker room taking over, whether it's telling the guy next to you to pick up his stuff in his locker, or when it's the guy next to you when you're in your class to tell you to put on your mask right now in this world we live in, it's got to come from them. So, AJ, that's where I do believe we've had success thus far off the field because of the strong leadership from these guys.
We'll go next to JP.
Hey, Coach. Checking in from Providence, Rhode Island here. Checking in about Jelani Galloway and just kind of what he's been able to show you in camp so far.
Yeah, hey, JP, thanks for coming on. Jelani's done a really nice job. He's continued to show improvement. He made some big plays in the scrimmage on Saturday. He continues to do that. He's got really good hands. He's elusive. He runs good routes. He works really hard. He's one of the guys that, that continues to progress, and he's getting better every day. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
Talk a little about, for his opportunities. He's this is probably a pretty big year for him to kind of take that next step.
Yeah, it's that way for a lot of the guys right now. And there's a lot of competition, especially at that position. I think he's taken a step. I think he showed that in the scrimmage. He continues to show that in practice. And he'll have his time on the field where he'll get his chance to show what he can do. So I'm excited to see that coming up.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
We'll go back to Dan.
All right, Coach, coming out of the scrimmage, first off, just basic schedule moving ahead, because I know you're going to head into a game week next week, and you had the scrimmage last week. So when do you peter down and try to figure out when you want to move forward and how you want to move forward with with your schedule to start shifting into the game week next week?
Yeah, we really used yesterday and today to really continue to get better. And I talked to you guys about that yesterday. We made that about ourselves. Now that it's getting later in the week, we'll start to, gradually introduce our opponent. We'll practice on Thursday, have a real practice Thursday. Friday, we'll taper it down. Probably won't go full speed. We'll probably get into some of the game plan stuff. Saturday, we're going to have a mock game day. It's going to be my first time with this team too. So I don't want it to all be, where do we go at halftime? Where do we go when we come out? What does our pregame routine look like? Where do we go at the end of the game? Where are the coaches going to be? So we're going to do a mock game just really from, operational standpoint Saturday. So they'll really get their legs back Friday, Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll get an extra bonus day in. Monday's the players' day off, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, here we go. So that's what it's going to look like, Dan.
Quick follow-up. I know you weren't here last year, but from a typical game day, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably going to look different for the players even getting into a locker room and getting dressed, and at the end of the game getting, recovery and all that after a game to get ready to, move about on game day.
Well, we're all going to be tested so many times. I mean, I think literally Friday we're tested here. I think we test 2 more times when we get off the plane. So once we get to the hotel, it's just us. So I feel pretty good. It's almost like we're recreating a bubble once we're on the road. But we've had to do a good job of that all the way through, just giving certain guys time in the locker room, spread them out, space them out. But I don't want there to be any distractions on game day, Dan. I want our guys obviously to be safe, but we feel pretty comfortable with the procedures that we have right now.
We'll go to Rich.
Jeff, I'm sorry, I was a little tardy. Did you name your captains today?
I did, Rich. We thought maybe you didn't want to hear who they were, so we had to tell Dan and Amy first.
Who do you got?
We got Max Richardson. We got Marcus Valdez. We got Petrula, Zion, and Travis.
Have you got a kicker yet, or anybody? Has there been a competition for that right now?
Yeah, we're we got Boom kicking away and Danny kicking away and Tess. We got a whole bunch of them. We're still battling to see who wins those jobs. So hopefully I'll have a depth chart. I promise we'll have a depth chart soon. Okay, it's coming. It's coming, Rich.
Is a kicker kind of like a quarterback in that you have to name him so he just gets his confidence and not looking over his shoulder a little bit, kind of maybe psychologically?
That's a good question. I want the competition right now. I want the pressure on them right now. I think that's one position, Rich, where you go out in the field and there's a ton of pressure. You might only get 1 or 2 opportunities a game, so I don't mind that. But we'll have our guys named so they'll know a week ahead of time so they can kind of just get into their routine. But they all need to be ready.
Go ahead, Rich.
Okay. The other night I crashed Dabo Swinney's Zoom conference. Surprisingly, your name came up.
Oh, boy.
No, but he had mentioned that he had met you at the bowl game, and he was curious to see who the new BC coach was. Do you remember meeting him, and did you take anything away from your conversations?
Yeah, we had a dinner with the Clemson staff, one of the bowl events, and he came up to me and introduced himself and congratulated me because at that time I'd already gotten the job. I actually met him and his wife, and just a class act. I mean, both of them, just very welcoming. At the time we talked about there was supposed to be an ACC trip before COVID hit, getting together there and just picking his brain. He said if I ever need anything to give him a call. So I really appreciated that. I have a ton of respect for him. He's one of the best coaches in college football. And I appreciate that he wasn't saying anything bad about me, Rich.
Actually, just a quick follow. I mean, when you say ACC, the first thing you hear is Clemson. That's kind of the bar. We'll just talk about the job he's done, making him not just an ACC power, but a national power.
Yeah, it's not just the ACC. When you think of college football right now, that's one of the schools everybody mentions first. I think it's awesome to see how long he's been there for and how he's built it the right way and just the longevity of it. How he recruits and how he evaluates and how hard those guys play and just how they do things the right way. I think he's got a great personality with the players and the team, and they play for each other. And we saw that obviously last year. So I have a ton of respect for everything he's done. And I think when you give a coach time like that and he builds it his way with his personality, I think that's what you get. And he's proven that. So, I'm excited. I believe they play Saturday night, so I'm excited to watch them play. I still have bad dreams about the last time I saw him on that day in Arizona, but maybe, I guess I get to see him again, Rich. So.
No, he was very complimentary about the Ohio State defense. He said it came down the wire and came down to just a couple of plays. So,
Rich, you're bringing up some bad memories.
sorry about that.
All right, Rich, you're good.
We got time for 2 more questions.
I think good, I guess.
Emma, you come on and you never ask questions.
That's not true.
I'm not.
We'll go.
We're good. We're good.
We'll go next to AJ.
So it's the first weekend of NFL football. Are you going to be watching any of your former players this weekend?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited every time there's a football game on now. You know, it's awesome to see. I've kept in touch with all those guys and a lot of coaches in the league. It's fun when you get to root for guys you coached and guys you coached with. You know, I can't wait. Thursday night, it starts. Say Thursday or Wednesday. I think it's I don't know what day it is, but I think it starts Thursday night.
Wednesday. Today's Wednesday.
All right,
Wednesday.
Dan. Tomorrow night, we get an NFL game, right?
And Miami UAB.
Oh, that'd be awesome to see. I'm fired up for that one too. I'll have to have 2 TVs set up, Rich.